Howdy everyone, my name is Jay, and today I'm going to be continuing Minecraft. Last episode, I began the foundation for my base and started working on an automated crop farm. And this episode will kind of be all over the place, but I do end up getting quite a few things done. With that being said, let's get into the video. When I loaded into the world, I realized that I was going to need better armor, especially if I was going to work on projects or go into massive caves. So to start off my day, I decided to explore the world and gather materials, looted some villages, and discovered a ton of shipwrecks and treasure chests. In order to get better armor, I knew I was going to need to get a lot of emeralds. So I stumbled upon a spruce village so I could trade as many sticks for emeralds. I was able to put my items in a chest, made a new axe so I didn't break my diamond one, and dug a hole so that I was able to put Fletcher villagers in it. And then after making said hole, I decided to add the fletching tables. I removed other village professions from the village so that I could have as many Fletchers as I could get. And then I finally started to chop down trees so that I was able to turn them into sticks. This process took about 30 minutes, and after getting about 10 stacks of wood, I was able to trade them. After trading, I got a little over 3 stacks, and I was going to start a second session because I wanted to get as many emeralds as I possibly could. While chopping down trees, I eventually looked over at my other monitor and realized that my video wasn't recording, or that it was recording, but it wasn't recording properly. And that's when I found that the end of the video, this specific one, got corrupted. And usually I record with 2-hour segments just so I can keep the videos organized, but instead I decided I was going to start recording in hour-length segments, and eventually came back and ended up with 41 stacks worth of emeralds. On my way back home, I put a cow on the boat, and once home, I made a second chest. I organized my items into it, then started to make a temporary iron farm. Iron was pretty important and a pretty necessary material, and although this will only be temporary, it's good to start it now and just move it later if I need to. So I dug out a 10 by 10 hole, dug down from the middle, and made compartments so that I can place the villagers in them. Next to these compartments, I made smaller compartments for the zombies. Then I realized I was gonna need name tags. I needed name tags so that the zombies didn't despawn, but I did find out that there was another method that I could use. I decided to try the holding item method. If you don't know what this is, basically it's where you toss a zombie or a husk, an item, and when they're holding it, they will no longer despawn. So with that in mind, I started transporting the villagers into the farm. And then I was strategizing a way so that I was able to get husk into the farm without hurting myself. Because again, I still didn't have very good armor. I was able to get the first husk into the farm pretty easily, and he picked up the sword pretty quickly. Once the husk was inside, the iron golem started spawning, and this was perfect. But I also realized this was a problem. Then if I tried getting new husk in, an iron golem can spawn and kill them right away. So for the time being, I blocked the view of the villagers from the husk and started on a collection system. I would usually work on a collection system during the day, and at night I would allow spawning around the base and hope to get another husk. After one of the nights, I got down from my pillar and decided to kill the creepers, and then made a pretty big mistake. I died to the creeper, and sadly, because I broke my bed, I respawned back at the world spawn and not back at my base. So I had to quickly make some tools and run to my base, and was luckily able to get all of my items back. I was pretty upset by this and honestly didn't want to continue working on the iron farm, but I decided to at least finish the collection system and then took a break for the meantime. So instead, I decided I was going to work on the base. I did a bit more for the automatic farm and removed the leaves and slabs from the outline. At night, I still tried to get Husk to at least hold items, but for some reason they wouldn't pick them up. I looked up and realized that they don't always pick them up, especially on easy or normal difficulty, so if it didn't work, I usually just continued working on the base, and decided that I was going to change the pathways into bridges instead of having them be flat on the ground. I figured this would break away from the flatness of the build, and I was hoping that it would make it look a little bit more intriguing, since I wasn't really happy with the design in the first place. I eventually stumbled upon a design that I really liked, and made diamond armor, so now I had a better set. I then went back to the farms and filled them with crops, and then began to grow potatoes. I bred my villagers a bit more, and decided to make the iron farm operational so that I could at least have some iron coming in while I worked on the base. I waited 20 minutes to see how much materials I got from the farm, and it wasn't too bad. Wasn't the best, but it was better than nothing. That's when I decided that after that I was going to work on the second bridge, and then off camera I worked on the last two bridges. I figured I'd do this part off camera just because you've probably already seen me build the first and second one, and didn't really want to waste your time. I realized that the design was making the build look a lot better, and started putting villagers in the farm. Even though I had diamond armor, I still wanted to enchant it, so I was gonna need a lot more levels. Because I died earlier, my levels got reset and I didn't have that many. I went to one of the nearby villages and used lecterns that I found in other villages to make librarians. One gave me Feather Falling 4, another Efficiency 5, and then I finally got Prot 4. It took me forever to finally get mending, and then I went back home. I was able to enchant some of the armor, but because I didn't have enough levels, I was only able to enchant 2 pieces. I used the last bit of my XP so that I was able to enchant my axe with mending. I went back exploring and tried to find the one taiga village that I already had all of my Fletcher tables at, but I wasn't able to find it and eventually found a different taiga. The taiga had a different village and I was able to trade sticks for emeralds and XP, and at the end of the day I ended up trading the pork that I had received for emeralds and XP as well. This gave me about 25 XP points, so I was able to enchant the rest of my armor. I got back home and enchanted the rest of my armor, put mending on my pickaxe, used the last bit for mending on my shovel, and then I was finally able to put the villagers in the farms. The farms were working, but for some reason the villagers were throwing them at the wall instead of at their friends. So I decided to make some adjustments and they started working perfectly. If you made it this far into the video, I want to thank everyone who has joined me on this journey. I know the beginning can be a bit boring and repetitive, but hopefully soon we can start doing bigger projects. Something else I want to clarify is that I plan on doing this series in this world until I pretty much get bored of it. I might die a few more times and continue the series, but I'll be honest, I'm not the best Minecraft player. I mainly play for fun and to create big projects and challenge my creativity. Maybe one day I'll start a hardcore world to challenge myself, but for now I will stick with this series. If there are any projects you want to see me build, let me know and I will try to get to them as best I can. If you liked the video, leave a like, sub if you want, and I will see you in the next one.